My name is Dinesh Natarajan Mohan and I publish templates on Indzara.com. In this video, I will provide how you can get automated reports on performance review data by using our performance dashboard Power BI template solution. So before I go forward, let me just explain the setup on how this whole thing works. You will receive an Excel file and a Power BI file when you download this product. And the Excel file is where you enter input data about employees and their performance. The reports will be visualized in Power BI. And we do a one-time simple connection from the Power BI file to the Excel file, and that's it. So, and then after that, every time when you update the data in Excel, you can hit a simple refresh button in Power BI to get all your reports updated. Now, I will walk you through what information is available in Excel first before I talk about Power BI reports. So now I have the Excel file open, which is where you can enter information about your company's specific values. For example, the list of values for location or office locations in your company, list of departments, list of job types, job categories, job titles, and all of those things can be customized according to your company's needs. And then you can also customize information around exit reasons, because we'll also be able to track the reasons why people are leaving the company. And then when it comes to performance reviews, you can enter a date of each performance review period. You can enter the date and then you can call that name in any way or any name you would like. In this case, I'm just simply calling it as this quarter 2021, 2022, and so on. So you can customize your performance review periods. You can also enter a list of skills that you need or you expect your employees to have, and you can enter them here as well. And then you can also enter which days of the week are weekends, which days are holidays in your company, and all that. So this is just a setting that you will enter one time. And if there is any change, like if a new office location opens, you will come in and enter them here. So these settings are typically, once you set them up, they are good and you don't have to keep updating them every day. Now, let's go to the next sheet, the skill profiles. Skill profiles are nothing but you are defining a set of combination of skills that you need in your employees. For example, if I am saying a finance analyst should have maybe the low level or low skill level of communication and strategic thinking and data analysis and technical knowledge. Okay, so I'm just going to define them as a finance analyst profile should have these skills at this level. And then I may have another level, which is finance analyst experience, which is a next level where I want them to have medium level of project management skill, and then medium level of this and high level of data analysis and so on. So basically, I'm creating these profiles that I expect to see in employees within my company. And then later, we will actually assign a specific employee to a profile. I would say, hey, employee number 1, you are assigned to a finance analyst profile. That means I expect you to have these skills at this level. When you proceed or progress in your career and then you go to the next level, I will update you to a different profile because my expectations on skills and levels will change as an employee progresses in their career. So here we define just a list of profiles, and then we'll go into the salary grades sheet. This is where we will define the list of grades or salary grades or pay grades in our company. What's the minimum salary, midpoint, and maximum salaries. Then we go to the 9-box grid, which is where I can change what are the 9 boxes in my 9-box grid. I'm not going to go into why we need a 9-box grid and all that. I'm assuming you're already familiar because we've already talked about it in this channel before. The 9-box grid, you can customize the names and the descriptions of each of the boxes in this sheet. Then we get into the employee data. First, we enter the list of all the employees that we have, along with their information, like when did they start working at the company, what is the gender, ethnicity, department, location, and all that information, along with their salary and then the salary grade that they belong to. So you can customize or enter information about each of the employees here. And in the employee updates, so when an employee changes their profile, for example, they may get promoted, they may move from one team to another, they may move from one location to another, their job title may change, their salary may change. All of these things can happen. When they happen, you will just enter them in the employee updates table as a new row. And this informs the template the latest information for each employee. Then if an employee decides to leave the company, then you enter them in the exits table. And here is where you can enter the employee when they are leaving the company, why, what type of exit, is it voluntary or involuntary, and then the reason why they are leaving. Okay, and then this is all the information about employees, just being in the company and whether they are, what job title, have they left, are they still active, and all that. Now we need to go into the skills tab. This is where we enter information about, as I told you at the beginning, we will assign an employee to a profile. So a certain employee, I expect them to have skills with this profile. So then it informs the template what is the expected skill. And now I can go and say, okay, what is the actual skill for that employee? For project management, does this employee have no skill, or low, or medium, or high? And by entering this information with the latest skill levels of all the employees, you have a very good data around existing skills in your employee base. And you will, whenever an employee does any training and improves their skill, you will update them here. Okay, that is it. Now we can go into the performance and the final sheet. The performance sheet is very simple. You choose an employee, you choose a review period, and then you say, what is the performance level of that employee? Low performance, moderate, or high? Same thing. What is the potential of the employee? Low, moderate, high? This automatically allows us to calculate a 9-box name that we saw in the 9-box sheet before. This is where you will enter the employee's performance every time. So if a new performance review is done for an employee, then you will add a new row at the bottom of this. So I'll go here and I can choose and enter the performance for that employee. Okay, so this is all the data that we enter in the Excel file, which is the input file for us. Now let's go and take a look at the Power BI output. So this is the home page of the Power BI report that we have. Within this, there are 5 different pages, and this is the home page. We have 5 other report pages. And in the home page, you can see that this is a bunch of metrics, and I'm showing it for the last 12 months. And if I want to see for the last 24 months, I can just enter 24, and you will see that the numbers are changing. So it's really dynamic and interactive. And now I'm going to go into, again, this is not the video where I'm going to talk about each metric. I'll talk about that later. In this video, I'm just going to give you an overview of what's all included at a high level. First is the 9-box grid. So I'm going to click on that. This will take us to the 9-box grid report. And here, for example, I can choose one specific department and narrow down the data. So there are 60 different employee performance reviews done in the IT department in this review period. So if I go to Q1 2022, you'll see that the 9-box grid is changing, and you can see the 9-box on the left here shows how many employees are in each box. So I can again toggle back. You'll see the numbers change. Here you'll see the count of employees in each of the 9 boxes. On the right side, you'll actually see the name of the employee and their job title listed below. This is again providing you the employee list within each of the 9 boxes. At the bottom left, you'll see the percentage distribution. So out of all the employees, 62 employees here, 10% of them were high box and 15% moderate to high. So again, the point here is this shows you the 9 box information in 3 different ways, all in this one page, and you can filter them by if you want to only look at full-time employees, if you want to only look at part-time and all that, you have control over filtering it to look at the 9 box. Then we go back to the home page, and I'm going to click on the performance dashboard, which is the next report. This one, we have total number of reviews during the specific review period. You can filter the review period, and you'll see the high performance. So basically, when we in Excel, when we marked each employee as low, high, or medium, or moderate, we were marking their performance. And this report shows you, for example, accounting department, 29% of them were marked as low performers in this review period. And if I go here for marketing, 50% of them were marked as low. So you can see how the different departments are performing when it comes to performance review. And then on the right side here, the same information, but we look at it by grade. Within each grade, what percentage are high performers. And the bottom left, you will see this by tenure. So employees who are brand new to the company, less than 1 year old, tenure in the company, then what is, if they are a low performer, how much salary is the median salary for that group? If they are high performers, how much are we paying? So typically you would expect, okay, if an employee is performing well, you're comparing the salary that employee is getting compared with somebody with the same tenure. What salary are we giving to the low performers? So this is again just to make sure that the performance and the merit or the salaries are aligned. So that this is what that information is intended to be used for. Same thing on the right side, by grade, within a certain grade, low performing employees median salary versus high performance employees median salary, how are they different? That is what this sheet or this report is meant for. I'm going to go back to the home page. This is performance trend. So in a previous report, we saw how within each department, what percentage of them are high performers, but that is only for one review period. This report now shows you for multiple review periods. So you can see here within the operations department, I can see, in the first quarter of 2021, 35% of them were low performers. But and then in the next quarter, Q2, 27% of them were low, 48% of them were high. So you can see how the trend or the progression or the change from quarter to quarter. In this case, I'm doing a review every quarter, but in your case, you could do review every 6 months or review once a year. From one review to the next, how are the performance mix changing for each department? So that is what this report is meant to capture. Each chart here is for one department. So this is accounting, this is customer service, this is finance. You can also compare the different departments and see if certain departments are trending in one direction and then compared to the others. So I'm going to go back to the home page again. Let's take a look at the skills report. When you are reviewing the 9-box grid and then the performance scores, and you say, okay, who are high performers and low, at the end of that review process, you want to update your skills data in Excel to say, okay, now based on the performance reviews, which employees are underskilled, which employees need to improve what skill. So you would have entered that data in Excel, and this Power BI report now pulls that in and says, okay, 90% of your employees, again, this is sample data, but 90% of your employees are underskilled. What is underskilled? So if the expected skill is high level, but your actual skill is medium, that means you still need to improve, right? So essentially, these people or these employees need to be upskilled or improved in their skill level, and that is what this report clearly captures. This chart shows, for example, communication skill, 97 employees, you expect to have very high level of communication skill. And then at the bottom chart will show you what is the actual skill level. For example, I can see here 81 employees have very high level of communication skill. And on the right side here, this underskilled percentage chart actually shows you what percentage of employees have underskilled or underskilled by each of the skills. So for example, 55% of the employees are underskilled in project management. So there are totally 245 employees who should be having project management skill at some level. And out of those, 135 are having a level which is below expected, so underskilled. It's not saying you're not skilled at all. It is saying it's underskilled compared to the expected levels. And 55%, and then strategic thinking is 41% underskilled. So this tells you which skill needs more training. So if you're designing your training program, you can use this information to say, I need to be doing more training around project management. And you can actually identify the specific employees who need to be in that training, because we show here the list of underskilled employees, and I can actually choose, for example, I'm going to choose project management, and you will see here in the bottom table here, these are the employees in across all these departments who need to improve in project management skill. And these are the employees you would invite for training when you do a training on project management. On the right, far right, and this middle matrix, this is just to show how many are, expected skill versus actual skill. What is that matrix count, actual versus expected? On the right side here, we see the underskilled by department. So for example, the marketing department, there are 59 employees who are underskilled. And so you can see if there are, if you're trying to estimate how many people from a specific department need to be trained on something, then you can use this chart to clearly see which department needs more training from a volume or a number of employees perspective. And you have filters, a lot of filters available for you to make this report very customized. I'm going to go back to the home page to look at the exits report. This is the final report in this Power BI. And this is tracking information around how many employees left the company, did they leave voluntarily or involuntarily. And this is important because if an employee is leaving, let's say, for example, involuntarily, that means the company decided to let them go versus the employee deciding to let go on their own. So when involuntary exit happens, that means the employee was not able to perform according to your needs, or there could be other non-performance based reasons also. But let's say, for example, if the employee skill level wasn't good, wasn't performing in certain ways, then your involuntary exits will capture that information or will reflect that. So the more involuntary exits happen, that means that the performance is not matching with the expectation. And so that is how the performance and then the exits are kind of tied together. And so this report will give you all the information around how many people are leaving, why are they leaving, the exit reason by month, how is the exit reason changing month over month. For example, if performance is the reason, for example, work performance is the reason, then is it trending up, which means more and more people are leaving because they're not performing as well, or is it going down? And all of this will help you take decisions around training, employee, satisfaction, skill measurement, and all of these are interrelated. So you can take the right decisions to improve performance, identifying any gaps in skills or training that you need, and take the corrective decisions. So let me go back to the home page. So this is all that is available for you in the Power BI report. Now I'm going to open this in actually Power BI desktop and show you how that looks there. Okay, so I have it open in Power BI desktop now. You will see that I have a lot of options on the top and menus and on the right as well. That's because now I can customize this report, modify it. If you're not familiar with Power BI, then I would recommend not to do that. But if you are familiar, then go ahead and create your own reports. You can click this plus button and create your own new reports, or you can modify the existing reports by changing the attributes, and you will have access to all these metrics which you can drag and drop and create your own reports. And that is, if you open this in Power BI desktop, all of these functionality will be there. If you have any questions, please reach us at support@indzara.com. We also have a step-by-step guide on how to use this template on our support portal. We'll provide you the link for that, and also the link to the product page where you can download this solution. If you have any suggestions, please post them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon in another video.